The Indians took a tough loss to start the homestand, losing on a play at the plate for the second game in a row. Today, Justin Masterson tries to get the doubleheader started off right and get his 11th win of the season. It's next on Sports Time Ohio. Gorgeous Tuesday afternoon here today in downtown Cleveland as the Indians get set to play the Seattle Mariners in Game 1 of a doubleheader. First pitch is just moments away. Good afternoon. Welcome into our broadcast. Along with Rick Manning, I'm Al Pulowski. And boy, Rick, it's been tough for the Tribe. These last couple of games, the offense has been struggling, and they've lost a couple of games on plays at the plate, too, here.
You know, back-to-back games at home plate. And in Detroit on Sunday, a beautiful throw by Austin Jackson here. This one, there was no doubt he was out. Fukudome never really reached the plate. No question he was out. The game ended there. But last night, you're going to see a bang-bang play at home plate, and this is the difference in the ball game. He said the foot got in there before the tag by Lou Marson. It was high, and I'll tell you what, he probably was right, but it was a 3-2 ball game, and when you look at the offense in the last 4 games for the Indians, it has not been there. 3 of the 4 games, 2 runs or less, and they're just going to have to generate some offense if they want to win any baseball games.
Well, one thing's just about for sure, they should get a well-pitched game today with Justin Masterson on the hill, the Indians ace, and Justin, Rick, has really done well and really become that true number 1 this season.
And today's pitching matchup brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. He'll be matched up against Blake Beeman. In his last 2 starts, really struggled. 11 earned runs and 11 1/3 innings. He pitches better on the road. His ERA is better, but he's going to be matched up against one tough customer, Justin Masterson. 20 times this year, he has given up 2 runs or less. Justin, he's the guy you want to go out there to stop a losing streak for the Tribe. Hopefully they can score some runs. You know, he has a history this year where the offense doesn't pick up for him, but today they're going to have to if they want to win a ball game.
In 14 games, Justin Masterson has taken the hill after a Tribe loss, and the Indians have won 10 of those, so that's a good omen for Game 1 today as the Indians get set to battle the Mariners. All the action coming up next in high definition right here on Sports Time Ohio. Cleveland, as we get set for a doubleheader, Game 1 with Justin Masterson on the hill for the Tribe. Of course, we'll have both games for you right here on STO. Let's take a look at the lineup today for the Seattle Mariners, and manager Eric Wedge will be facing Justin Masterson. As we get a look here, Ichiro Suzuki will lead it off at designated hitter for just the 8th time this year. Then it's Gutierrez, Ackley, Karp, Wells, and Kennedy, who's done well against Masterson in his career, followed by Olivo, Seager, and Robinson.
Justin Masterson making his 27th start this year. His record is 10-7 and a fine 2.71 ERA. Now, he pitched against Seattle one time this year, April 9th. It was a win, 6 1/3 inning, 4 hits, 1 run. He had 9 punch-outs in that ballgame. It was a 2-1 win for the Indians. Take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network.
in a minute. Oh, there we go. Carrera, Fukudome, and Shu. It's Hanahan, Cabrera, Valbuena, Laporta on the infield with Santana behind the plate.
And Ichiro starts it off with a easy ground ball attempt from Matt Laporte. Runs to the bag, 1 out here in the first inning. The umpires for today's game, James Hoy calling the balls and strikes. Chris Conroy is at first base. Bill Miller at second. Phil Cuzzy at third. 78 degrees for first pitch. On a sun-splashed afternoon in downtown Cleveland. Great day to play some hooky and check out the Indians and Mariners here at the ballpark. Here's Franklin Gutierrez. He'll take ball 1 from Masterson. That one is hit foul and out of play. So 1-1 here. The Mariners center fielder. Now, one thing he could always do, Rick, was play defense. And now Eric Wedge said these last couple of weeks he's gotten healthier and starting to swing the bat a little bit better as well.
Well, he missed so much of the early part of the year with the stomach problems and issues that, he was playing catch-up from the get-go. He's a pretty good offensive player when he's on his game. But, yeah, he is definitely a very good above-average center fielder.
He missed the first 41 games of the season with that stomach ailment. One and two the count here. And a little chopper to third. Masterson will make the play, but nowhere to go with the throw, and that's an infield single for Gutierrez. Well placed and a base hit.
Well, it didn't matter if Masterson fields the ball or Hanahan fields it. It was going to be a base hit. You can see he tops it right off home plate. It stays fair, and it was going to stay fair if it lands. So infield single for Gutierrez.
So the Mariners with 1 on and 1 out here in the first inning for Dustin Ackley. And the rookie takes outside for ball 1. Ackley was recalled from AAA Tacoma back on June 16th.
One of those players they talked about in spring training, but they wait for arbitration eligibility. Instead of letting that clock start on some of these guys, he was one of them. And the roster for the Mariners, 12 rookies on this ball club right now on the 25-man roster.
And Ackley hits the 2-0 pitch right back to Masterson. That'll start the double play, and the Indians are out of the first inning. Justin Masterson gets it done. Nothing across for the Mariners. The Indians coming to bat. today against Blake Bevan. The Indians starting lineup presented by Progressive Insurance. Proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Carrera will lead it off in left, then Cabrera, who's done well against the Mariners this year. Chu, Santana, Fukudome. Chisenhall's the DH here in Game 1. Then Laporta, Hanahan, and Valbuena.
Blake Bevan making his 9th major league start this year. His record is 3-4. 4.10 ERA. We told you earlier that he has struggled in his last 2 outings. 11 runs in 11 1/3 innings.
And Carrera takes strike 1 with Mariners third baseman Adam Kennedy well in on the grass at third, anticipating that bunt. And quickly 0-2 here to Ezekiel Carrera, who had a couple of hits in last night's game. He fouls that one back. Nice play there by a fan.
Well, Bevan, a guy that came to the Mariners in that Cliff Lee deal. Also with Justin Smoke, who is still on the DL. Number 1 draft pick for the Texas Rangers. 17th overall back in the 2007 draft.
Bevan, 22 years old, a native of Irving, Texas. Carrera pops that one to short left center. And coming over and letting it drop are both the left and center fielder, Gutierrez and Robinson. Just kind of looked at one another and nobody took charge. A base hit for Carrera.
That's Gutierrez's fault. He's the center fielder. He can go get him. And, you know, they just bad communication when you think about it. Anytime that happens, I blame the center fielder because anything he can catch. You see him give up right there? He should have just continued to stay aggressive. He could have caught it easily. And Robinson was coming when he finally realized that Gutierrez wasn't going for it. So I say that's Gutierrez's fault. But it's a base hit for Carrera.
So the Indians with their leadoff batter aboard for Asdrubal Cabrera. And he'll take ball 1. Asdrubal with career highs in homers and RBI this year. There's a good pitch over the outside corner. Bevan's got a nice fastball, a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. Also will throw the slider and curve and has a changeup as well. So he's got a number of pitches he can use. Throw to first keeps Carrera honest. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Indians with their leadoff man aboard. Boy, Rick, sunshine, clear sky, 78 degrees. Can't ask for much better.
No, it's very nice.
Carrera bluffs. The throw goes through to second base, but Carrera stepped about a third of a way down and just came back.
And a wise move. A lot of times if you're trying to steal a base runner, if he doesn't feel like he gets a good job, he'll stop. But you can see the arm of Belibo right there on the money. So obviously Carrera felt he didn't get a good enough jump, so you put on the brakes. Not a bad move.
And now a 1-2 count to Asdrubal Cabrera. Mariners win yesterday, snapped a 5-game losing streak. The Indians now have lost 4 in a row. Carrera going this time. The pitch is outside. The throw to second, and Carrera's safe with a stolen base. His 6th of the year.
Pretty good jump, but the throw looked like it was a little to the shortstop side as he's going to go down. Actually, it was a really nice throw. That was close at second base. Got the hands in there. Ackley applied the tag.
And a 2-2 count to Cabrera, who checks his swing, and he did not go, says third base umpire Phil Cuzzy. That'll run the count full with now Carrera in scoring position. And Asdrubal batting .330 with runners in scoring position this season. And he hits that one off the handle to right. Coming in as the right fielder, Wells will make the catch, and Carrera cannot tag. So one out here in the first inning. Let's take a look at the defense.
That's our Home Depot defense for the Seattle Mariners. It's Robinson in left, Gutierrez in center, Wells is in right. Kennedy is at third, Seager at short, Ackley at second, Karp is at first with Olivo behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
That'll bring Shin-Soo Choo to the plate with the runner on second and one out. Shin-Soo Choo was there for the arrival of his baby girl, Abigail, born yesterday, 7 pounds. Congratulations to the Choos, their third child. He swings and misses here at the first pitch. Choo, though, since he's come off the disabled list on August 12th, has hit in 7 of the 8 games he's played with a .343 average, so he's really picked it up. He's down here 0-2.
It's that little back foot breaking ball that you get the left-handers to swing over the top. Had good tilt to it. Choose comes up empty.
Here's the 2-strike pitch from Bevan. And a swing and a miss. So 3 pitches and a strikeout for Bevan, his first of the afternoon. 2 outs here in the first inning.
Check it out on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. He just went right at him after that breaking ball down in the back foot, challenged him with a fastball at 92 miles an hour and swings through it. So his first strikeout, second out in the inning.
So that'll leave it up to Carlos Santana here in the first inning to deliver Ezequiel Carrera. He's at second base now with 2 away. Santana's on a 7-game hitting streak. Timeout called at the plate. There's his numbers on this current streak. That curveball was outside. He'll throw that curveball in the mid-70s, Rick. His slider's in the mid-80s. But quite a difference there with the miles per hour on the 2 different breaking pitches he'll show you.
Well, I would think that Santana may see a few off-speed pitches here in this at-bat. Even first base is open. I know it's the first inning. But this is the guy that can hurt you in a situation like this.
Again, timeout at the plate.
You have Fukudome on deck, so you know you're not going to give in. They know Santana's a good fastball hitter. Their scouts see him hitting it all the time.
He fouls that one. So 1-1 to Carlos Santana, and we've seen his improvement here as the year's gone on, Rick. What do you think's been the biggest thing that he's done to get a better batting average and get some more power, too, here in the month of August?
He's been a little quieter at the plate. I think with his body from the right side, he's really got a good swing going now, and he's using the whole field. He's going the other way and not try to pull everything and hit everything out of the ballpark.
Swings and misses there. Good off-speed pitch.
So far, Bevan, 5 swings and misses in this first inning, and that looks like that's going to be his strikeout pitch today. That breaking ball there to the left-handers.
So Bevan gets ahead of Santana, 1-2 now. A pitch up and away with the fastball. Now the 2-2 pitch, but first a pickoff attempt at second, but Carrera is back. Boy, nice play there. Is a quick turn by Blake Bevan.
Well, and he put on a very good throw over there. Seager sneaks in, and that throw is right at the runner. That's really a good timing play by those two right there to keep that guy close.
Santana checks his swing there. Lays off the curveball inside. 3-2 now to Carlos Santana. 2 outs with Carrera on second. Kosuke Fukudome is on deck. Crowd coming to life a little bit here in the bottom of the first. Wanting Santana to deliver. Inside, so he'll take a walk. Put runners at first and second now for Fukudome.
No, that doesn't surprise me right there. He was able to get ahead of him, but then, he's trying to make that perfect pitch. He wasn't going to give in and give Santana too good of a pitch to hit, so he ended up walking him. Now, this is the guy he wants to go at.
So Fukudome to bat here with 2 aboard and 2 out. Fukudome hitting .277 with runners in scoring position. He's got Carrera at second base. Santana at first. Takes that pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Now, one thing that Fukudome will do is he will take a lot of pitches. Does not normally swing at pitches out of the zone either.
Well, in this lineup, he's in the number 5 hole. That's an RBI slot. And a lot of times he will swing like that and foul a lot of pitches off instead of put them in play.
And quickly, Bevan ahead of Fukudome, 0-2. And he hits that one to right center field, and that one will find the gap. Carrera's home easily. Santana will be held at third and into second base with the double. And the RBI is Kosuke Fukudome. 1-0 Indians.
It's going to be our McDonald's I'm loving it on a 1-2 pitch. Fukudome, he got a fastball inside. Bevan didn't hit his spot. They wanted to go away. He comes inside, makes him pay. 2-out base hit will give the Indians an early 1-0 lead for Fukudome, his 8th RBI.
So Fukudome delivers with 2 outs. And now Lonnie Chisenhall, who's the designated hitter today, and looks at strike 1, will bat with runners at second and third. So the Tribe with a run home, and Chisenhall will try to add on right here. Although he's batting just .130 with runners in scoring position this season. Boy, that slow curve. It's hard the opposite way, foul. So Chisenhall down 0-2, but so was Fukudome in that last at bat, and Fukudome got the double. Chisenhall pops that one towards the seats. And that one will go foul off the dugout. Rick, there's a lot of talk about rookies being designated hitters, how there's some sort of an adjustment there. What do you think, batting a rookie as a DH? Is there much of a difference or not really?
Well, no, you're trying to get 4 at-bats for a guy is what you're trying to do. I mean, they're not going to DH if they were healthy. He's just trying to get another left-handed bat in there. And that way you can play hand-to-hand defensively at third base, and Chisenhall can get 4 at-bats.
And he swings and misses there. And he's the second strikeout victim of the first inning. But the Indians get a run home on Fukudome's double. 1-0 Indians as we head to the second inning. the Mango Pineapple Real Fruit Smoothie has arrived. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. And by AT&T. Picture perfect day today in downtown Cleveland. Some clouds are starting to move in a little bit, but high clouds right now 78 degrees, and the Indians leading this one 1-0 as we move into the second inning. Justin Masterson, who faced the minimum in the first, will see hitters 4, 5, and 6. Karp, Wells, and Kennedy. As Mike Karp fouls that one off. And with the Indians scoring in the first inning, that's the first time they've done that since August 10th against Detroit. Karp takes strike two.
I like it when you have this big guy on the mound. Get him an early lead because he usually doesn't give up many. 20 times 2 earned runs or less out of his 26 starts, making his 27th start today.
And the Indians are 21 games over 500 when they score first, 39-18 on the season. So, got a guy like Masterson on the hill, and you can get him that run. It's important. 1-2 here to Mike Karp. He's playing at first base with Justin Smokeout. He can also play the outfield. He swings and misses, so Justin Masterson picks up his first strikeout. 1 out here in the second inning. And the Indians with some injuries here, and let's get the latest now on Grady Sizemore with Katie with them. Hey, Katie.
Hey, Al. Rick, I spoke with Grady, and he says he's feeling good. Right now, everything is going according to plan. Today, in between games, he'll be out on the field doing some rehab sprints, also some position-specific agilities. If things continue to go well, he'll participate in a full BP session tomorrow. Now, he told me that he hoped to have a couple rehab starts next week, but Lonnie Soloff, the head athletic trainer, said that's, incredibly optimistic at this point, and there are still quite a few hurdles that he's going to have to get through before they can start thinking rehab starts, guys.
All right, Katie, thanks for that update on Grady Sizemore as Casper Wells breaks his bat, grounds to third. Hanahan, quick play, 2 outs. Time now for today's Powerade rankings as we get a look at the American League ERA leaders, and there's Justin Masterson, 4th in the AL.
Well, he has been consistent and has done that all year long. Look at the 3 leading the way: Weaver, Verlander, Beckett. And even Romero for Toronto, he's been on a roll. So there's some very good pitchers up there.
There's some great company for Masterson, who keeps pitching better, it seems, as the season moves along. Strike one here to Adam Kennedy. Rickety was talking about those injuries. Carrasco, who's on the DL, is proving his range of motion. They're hoping for a September return. And Travis Hafner, who has that strained tendon in his foot, is now in a walking boot. They are looking at other opinions. Surgery is an option. That's not been decided yet, but injuries have played a big role on this team all season long.
They certainly have. Second time he's been on the DL. Grady's been there a couple of times, and those are the veterans that you have in the lineup.
3-1 now to Adam Kennedy. 2 outs, nobody on here in the second inning. And he lines that one to right. That'll be in for a base hit. Over to cut it off in the right field corner is Chu. Really can't cut it, though, and an easy double for Adam Kennedy with 2 outs here in the second inning.
When you've had success against a guy, and Kennedy 3 for 6 in his career against Masterson, it always seems like you get into hitters' counts. A 3-1 pitch, so he starts cheating on that fastball, and he is able to hit it down into the corner, cruises into second base, 20th double. And now they'll have an opportunity with a runner in scoring position, but with 2 outs.
And last night, Seattle was 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. This is Miguel Olivo, who looks at ball 1. This season overall, Seattle has a team batting just .220 with runners in scoring position and 3 for their last 35. So they've struggled in this category.
Well, they're last in the league in runs scored. They've scored only 426 runs as a team.
But there's a hard shot right up the middle. Coming around third is Kennedy. They'll wave him in. He'll score. And the ballgame is tied at 1 with the 2-out RBI single by Miguel Olivo.
Yeah, you take advantage of it. There's a good fastball hitter, and he got one, and he delivers with 2 outs. So back come the Mariners, and that's something that a lot of times in the past week or two when the Indians have scored, it seems like the pitching has been giving it right back to them, and I call them response runs. Well, they've responded with 2 outs. They get the base hit. We have a new ball game. It's tied at 1.
Third hit of the day for the Mariners. That'll bring Kyle Seager to the plate. The shortstop looks at strike 1. Another young player on this Mariners team. Talking with Eric Wedge before yesterday's game, he said, he's in the process of getting the guys here who can play, fit into his system, and here's another one of those guys.
Well, it takes time, and patience is the name of the game when you're the manager over there. And Eric Wedge has it. He proved that here in this organization where he took over a team of a bunch of kids and had to develop them, and certainly capable of doing that. But the patience is going to have to remain there. They do have 2 pretty good pitchers, starters on the way. They've got another kid in the minor leagues that's supposed to be pretty good, too.
0-2 here to Seager. He'll take a ball. In that previous pitch, Miguel Oliva was running as they went with the hit run.
Tell you about the Mariners, though, when you're patient. They're over in the Western Division, and they have some pretty good pitching over in the West. So offensively, you're going to face something when you're playing inside your division every night.
Seager with the line drive, base hit to center. Oliva will stop at second base, so now the M's have runners at first and second with 2 away.
3 straight 2-out hits. Let's look at the location on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker here. Fastball right down the middle, right down Broadway at 95. And even though it has movement on it, hitters still, it doesn't matter the speed, they can get on it.
So that'll bring the 9-hitter Trayvon Robinson to the plate. He'll take a strike on the outside corner. Good story by Robinson. He was a product of Major League Baseball's Reviving Baseball in the Inner Cities, that RBI program, and out in Southern California there. And he credits a lot of his success to being in that as a youngster. Quickly 2 strikes on Robinson. After an 8-pitch first inning, 20 thus far in the second for Masterson. There's the base runners. Olivo at second, Seager at first, 2 outs. Robinson stays alive as he fouls that one off. Seattle already with 1 run in here in the second. And the off-speed pitch is hit slowly towards first. Laporta will make the play on his own. And Seattle is retired here in the second inning, but they get a run on 3 hits. Tie the ball game up at 1 apiece. The bottom third of the Indians' order: Laporta, Hanahan, and Valbuena. Against right-hander Blake Bevan. Fans that are here today enjoying the nice weather thus far. And the Indians trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. They enter play today, tied for second in the American League Central, 5.5 out. Hard to believe just 4 games ago, Rick, the Indians were a game and a half back, but they lose 4, the Tigers win 4, and before you know it, you're 5.5 behind.
That's what happens when you go head-to-head, against that team, and that's the way you want it. You certainly do not want to get swept, and you know they could have been out of there 2.5, but they were swept, couldn't win a ball game.
Matt Laporta takes the ball down low. Yep, this year has hit righties better than lefties. 247 against right-handed pitching, while just 213 against lefties. Swings and misses there. Game 1 of a doubleheader here. Game 2 coming up tonight at 7:05. We'll have all the action for you right here on STO. Laporta checks his swing there. He did not go, says first base umpire Chris Conroy. All bets are off. We'll take care of you between games after the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show, and then at 6:30, it's Indians on deck. Dave Chudowski, Jason Stanford. Then at 7, we'll be back with you here for the Indians and Mariners Game 2. 3-1 now to Matt Laporta. The Indians leadoff batter here in the second inning. Laporta fouls that 3-1 straight back. So full count to Matt Laporta. There's Jack Hanahan waiting on deck. A swing and a foul tip. It's held on to by Miguel Olivo. That'll be the third strikeout for Blake Bevan today. And 1 out here in the second inning. Let's take a look at today's minor league report, brought to you by Kia. Jared Gettert. Last night, a 6-4 loss to Buffalo, hit a solo home run, but in his last 10 games, Gettert has really been pounding the baseball for that .417 average. It's the minor league report, brought to you by Kia. So here's Jack Hanahan with 1 out. He takes ball 1. Rick Jack's been hitting the ball pretty well lately. 6 for his last 16. A couple of RBIs that covers his last 6 games.
Well, here he's also been using the whole field. He has done it against some left-handed pitching and then went the other way last night. And so it's good to see. I mean, this is what you were hoping for Jack to do all year, against right-handed pitching. If he did, he'd be playing every day.
It's that one on the ground to second. Ackley will throw out Hanahan. 2 outs here in the second inning. Hey, don't forget later today, after the second game of the doubleheader is final, it's Training Camp Daily. Hosted by Andre Knott. Mary Kay Cabot will be on hand, so will Tony Grossi. Some of the features for tonight: Coach Shermer on his first camp as head coach. There'll be an interview. Joe Thomas on his brand new contract. He's going to be around for a while. And Andre will have a one-on-one with Evan Moore. That's Browns Training Camp Daily tonight after Game 2 of this doubleheader. And Luis Valbuena hits that one high to the left field side on the warning track. Trayvon Robinson will haul it in, and quickly the Indians retired. 3 up, 3 down here in the second inning. We're still tied at 1. to remind you to stay tuned for later in the game to see what our Miller Taste Greatness moments will be. To the third inning here at Progressive Field, Justin Masterson will see the top of the order for the Mariners, Suzuki, Gutierrez, and Ackley. And a nice day for game one of a doubleheader. And Suzuki, who grounded out to Matt Laporta his first time up, takes a look at ball one.
This is just the 8th time he has DH'd this year.
He smacks that one to right field. Chu going over, runs it down, and makes the catch. Great diving catch by Shin-Soo Choo to retire Ichiro.
Yeah, you don't expect Ichiro to pull the ball, especially off Justin Masterson. But I'll tell you what, he does, and that would be one thing you don't expect. But watch Chu get the jump on that ball. Good jump. Going to his left, able to make a diving catch, and a nice play. Nice catch.
Justin Masterson
he
liking
loves
that.
it. Yeah, why not? The leadoff hitter, you take him away from extra bases. That's at least a double if Chu doesn't catch it.
So Suzuki 0 for 2 today. Here's Franklin Gutierrez, who singled his first time up, was erased then on a double play. And quickly he's down on the count, 0-2. You see the contrast in styles. Obviously, Justin Masterson likes to work quickly, while Blake Bevan works a little slower. .96 on that fastball for Masterson.
Well, I think anytime you're a pitcher and you get into a rhythm, you like to see them get into rhythms, and most of them, when they're on their game, they do work quickly. You know, they get it, they look down, they get their sign, they know what they want to throw, and they're moving. I don't care if you're a power pitcher, a control pitcher, or whatever. You watch Josh Tomlin do it. He gets the ball. He never leaves the rubber. Justin Masterson has been much quicker this year than he was last. He didn't have to, you don't have to think about a whole lot.
And he gets a strikeout there, his second of the day. Quickly 2 outs here in the third inning for Seattle. And let's take a check-in with Katie. How's it going, Katie?
Hey, it's going good. I'm hanging out with Ryan. We're talking about the postseason, hopefully, here. And we can guarantee your chance to have tickets during the postseason with the Indians' playoff payoff package. All you have to do is make a deposit for 2012 season tickets. You're guaranteed an opportunity to secure any game postseason that's played here at Progressive Field. You can check it all out online at Indians.com, guys.
Sounds like a great deal, Katie. 2 outs for Ackley, who now has a 1-1 count. Dustin Ackley grounded into a 1-6-3 double play his first time up. And he hits that one to left field. Carrera coming over towards the line, and he'll make the catch in foul ground. Had to contend with the front row there, but got it done. And the Mariners go 3 up, 3 down in the third inning. We're still tied at 1 here today at Progressive Field. Stay True, Ohio. I like it for STO. They're in the stands. Indians and Mariners tied at 1. Top of the order for the Tribe, Cabrera, and Chu. Ezekiel Carrera singled, stole a base, and scored the Indians' only run today back in the first inning. Shows bunt there and takes it for a ball. You know, as a bunter, Rick, and Ezekiel Carrera is obviously a very good one, but everybody knows that. When the corners come in so much, how much harder does that make it to be successful bunting for a base hit?
Well, a lot of times when he bunts, he's on the run, and he bunts a lot of foul balls. He's going to have to learn how to maybe bunt the ball and get it down on the ground and then take off out of the batter's box. I mean, guys are going to, when they come in, you can still put the ball down and bunt it and beat it out if you lay down a good bunt.
Carrera down in the count here, 1-2 to rookie Blake Bevan. Making his first ever start today against the Tribe. That was Bevan's 40th pitch today. 27 of those have been for strikes. Carrera lifts that one to left center. Trayvon Robinson will glide over and make the catch. 1 out here in the third inning. Now let's take a look at yesterday's great clip of the game from last night, brought to you by Great Clips, going the other way. Carrera did it twice last night. Relax, you're at Great Clips. Carrera today, 1 for 2. Now Asdrubal Cabrera. Flew out to left his first time up.
He was scheduled to hit in that number 2 hole last night before Chu had to leave.
Cabrera is one of those guys, too, you could pretty much bat anywhere in the order now.
Well, I think he's done his best work in the number 2 hole this year.
It's that one hard on the ground to second. Ackley bobbles, recovers, and is able to throw him out for the second out of the inning. All right, time now for Game 1's AT&T trivia question. Let's take a look at what we have this afternoon. Name the only pitcher since 1901 to have a 20-win season at age 20 and 21. I've got an idea. All right, stay tuned. Later in the ball game here, we'll have that answer for you. That's our AT&T trivia question for today. Now Shin-Soo Choo with 2 outs and nobody on. Struck out his first time up on 3 pitches. Now 2-0 here to Choo. If you're just joining us, Shin-Soo Choo missed last night's game to be there for the birth of his 3rd child, baby girl Abigail. 7 pounds yesterday. Two and one now to Choo. It's that one opposite field, but foul. Lines it into the stands. Now 2-2 to the Tribe right fielder. Now Chu drives that one to right center field. That one will get down and hit the wall on a couple of hops. Chu into second base. He'll stay right there with the double. So Shin-Soo Choo with the 2-out double, and he's in scoring position now here in the 3rd.
He drives that into the right center field gap. It was a fastball up, belled high. plugs it the gap in right center. So Chu with a 2-out double, his 11th of the year.
We just felt the entire press box, Rick. It was moving around a little bit.
It sure was.
Kind of strange. Everybody's looking at one another. Man.
Now, I don't know if that's an earthquake or Gary and Tommy were jumping around in the back of the booth.
Carlos Santana takes a strike. He walked in his first time up.
That was some kind of weird feeling, wasn't it?
I thought for a second you were shaking your chair. I looked at you.
No.
You looked at me like that's not me. Well, it's stabilized a little bit now. Now 2 strikes to Carlos Santana. So, right now we're trying to figure out what caused the entire press box level here to shake just a little bit. 0-2 now to Santana with Chu on second base. Takes that one up for a ball.
The same situation they had back in the first inning, except Carrera was on base when he was on second. First base open. They were able to get ahead of Santana, and he ended up walking.
Santana lifts that one to right. That'll be an easy play for Casper Wells. He makes the catch. The Indians retired in the third inning. They get a double from Chu, but can't score him, so they leave one. Still 1-1 heading to the fourth. Tied at 1. We have some news as to what that shaking in the press box was. There was a 5.92 earthquake 33 miles north of Ottawa. We felt the aftershocks here in Cleveland, and we were also told by our producer Jim Murphy that approximately 5 million people felt that earthquake.
Wow.
Or the aftershock. It happened at 1:40 p.m. And obviously we felt that just a few minutes ago.
No kidding.
So
that was very strange.
It sure was. It measured a 5.8 in Virginia. And right now they are currently evacuating the Pentagon. So this was felt through a big portion of North America. So that's the latest. As 2-2 count now to the Mariners' Mike Karp, their cleanup hitter today here in the fourth inning, tied at 1. But really the news of the day was that aftershock we felt from an earthquake in Canada. And there goes Mike Karp, strike 3. Justin Masterson, his third strikeout today.
Second time in a row he's been able to get Karp. This time it's looking. He just went right at him. There's a fastball 95, and he doesn't pull the trigger. So he will take the walk back to the dugout. Out number 1.
So that'll bring Casper Wells to the plate. He grounded out to third his first time up. Well, there's something new for me, at least, at Progressive Field, Rick. I don't know if you've ever felt a tremor at a ballpark.
I can't say that I have. Not like that. That was really strange feeling.
And lasted, what, about 30, 45 seconds? Somewhere in there. And was strange. Casper Wells to first base. Matt Laporta, nifty play there. 2 outs. So Masterson now has retired 7 in a row after, back in the second inning, the Seattle Mariners had 3 straight hits. That would produce their only run here in game 1 of a doubleheader. And Kennedy grounds the first pitch to second. Play made by Luis Valbuena quickly. 3 up, 3 down for Seattle. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Still tied at 1. And yeah, school starting for a lot of kids tomorrow. But some of them here today, their last day of summer vacation. Great place to be. Great day. Bottom of the 4th inning, tied at 1. Blake Bevan on the hill for the Mariners has thrown 53 pitches thus far. And his first pitch strikes to 6 of 13 batters. Here's Kosuke Fukudome. He got him down 0-2 back in the first inning. But then Fukudome doubled and drove in the Indians' only run thus far. That pitch up high, 2-0 now to Fukudome. We've got some other news if you're just joining us on the tremor we felt here at Progressive Field. There was an earthquake 33 miles north of Ottawa in Canada at 1:40 p.m. We felt the aftershocks I'd say about 10 minutes ago. And apparently, according to the Associated Press, people have felt it in Chicago to Maine. Manhattan in New York City felt it, and they are evacuating the Capitol building just to be safe. And I understand that a few floors here at the Terminal Tower were evacuated as well to be safe. So, very interesting story as we felt those aftershocks from that earthquake in Canada today. Well, Fukudome, talk about a line drive swing. Second straight time he's done that. Second straight time he's doubled as he'll pull into second base. He's in scoring position with nobody out.
Second straight double for Fukudome. The first one coming with 2 outs, driving in the Indians' only run. This time he gets a fastball 90 on the inner part of the plate and hit it down the right field line. So a good start to this inning. Let's see if they can play some fundamental baseball, get him over and get him in.
So he's on second with nobody out for Lonnie Chisenhall, a strikeout victim his first time to the plate today, back in the first inning. And he lines that one up the middle, base hit. Fukudome being waved around. He'll come home and score as the throw is cut off by Mike Karp. RBI single for Lonnie Chisenhall. Tribe takes the lead, 2-1.
It looked like he got a fastball out over the plate and drilled it. He was looking to pull it, and there it was, down, away. Hit a pretty good pitch, right back up the middle. Not only gets him over, gets him in, gets the bonus there. So he drives in his 8th run, and the Tribe takes a 2-1 lead.
And the scoreboard update is brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers and the all-new 2012 Ford Focus. Ford, drive one. Should get a look at basically the schedule for today's games. As Matt Laporta swings and misses for strike one. Matt struck out his first time up. Chisenhall at first, nobody out. A run already in here in the 4th inning for the Tribe as they've retaken the lead in game 1 of this doubleheader. And Laporta rips that one to left. It is a foul ball, just foul, as Laporta got out just a little bit in front of that fastball.
Well, he got a pitch he liked and just turned on it a little too quickly. You see that ball was hooking and it just missed by a couple of feet.
So 0-2 now to Matt Laporta, the Indians' first baseman. Chisenhall at first. And a swing and a miss. Good pitch there. I think a slider from Bevan.
Yes, it was. Off the plate. Was able to get Laporta to chase. Thought he was going to get another fastball. Yeah, you could see him. That was a bad swing, reaching for it.
So 1 out. That was the 4th strikeout today for Blake Bevan. Now Jack Hanahan grounded out to second base, his first time up. We'll take ball 1 low. So Bevan now at 63 pitches here in the 4th inning. Throw to first. Keeps Chisenhall honest. And a strike to Hanahan. So 1-1 here to the Tribe third baseman. Chisenhall on first base. 1 out. There's Kosuke Fukudome, who is 2 for 2 today with a couple of doubles.
Yeah, he has really done it all so far.
That pitch is low, and you know, you look at some trade deadline deals. It's funny how a lot of those work out. The Indians get Fukudome before the deadline. Everybody was talking about Beltran as being the prize offensive guy. Well, Fukudome has produced much more than Beltran has for the Giants.
Well, most of the time, you know, the prized or the big names that are talked about of getting traded and doing something, they don't pan out to make a huge splash or success. You know, because they're the hired guns. There's a lot of pressure on some guys. He's on the DL.
Chisenhall running a line drive, caught by the second baseman, Ackley. And that'll be an easy double play as Chisenhall was running with the pitch, and that'll retire the Tribe here in the 4th inning. But they get a run. Fukudome a double. Chisenhall a single to drive them home. 2-1 Tribe. proud to fly the Cleveland Indians. And by Panini's. Like Panini's franchise group on Facebook for your chance to win giveaways and prizes. Fifth inning in game one of a day-night doubleheader here today in downtown Cleveland. Gorgeous day. Indians now in the lead once again, 2-1. It'll be Olivo, Seager, and Robinson for the Mariners, the bottom third of their order here in the fifth inning.
So this is going to be a big inning for now for Justin Masterson to just put a 0 on that board. As I mentioned the last time the Indians scored in the bottom of the first, Seattle came back, added one in the second. And those response runs in the last 8 games, they've given up 12 runs allowed, 7 of them in the last 8 games. Well, so what I'm saying is when they score, they haven't been able to shut down the opponent.
Masterson works ahead of Olivo here. 0-2 the count. And a swing and a miss. Justin Masterson records his 4th strikeout. 1 away here in the 5th inning.
You can fill a house for charity tomorrow. The Tribe will close out this series against the Mariners. It's a 12:05 start, and $1 from every ticket sold will be donated to Coats for Kids. Support a worthy cause and get your tickets at Indians.com.
A pitching matchup tomorrow at Dandy. Tomlin against Hernandez. And later today in game 2 of the doubleheader at 7, it's Zach McAllister against Anthony Vasquez, both pitchers being recalled from AAA. Kyle Seager fouls that one off. It's 1-1. Seager singled his only time up back in the 2nd inning. So we will have to see a roster move for Zach McAllister. Seager fouls another one off into the seats. 54 pitches today for Justin Masterson, 38 of those for strikes. So, Rick, he's pounding the strike zone.
Well, he's he doesn't mess around a lot with his off-speed pitches. He basically goes at you with a fastball and changes locations.
That one smacked to left. Carrera going back. He'll have room. He'll make the catch in the corner. 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Now Trayvon Robinson, who grounded out to Matt Laporta, unassisted, his only time up. Trayvon Robinson loves the game of football, wanted to play it more in high school, but baseball came easy to him. So he lines that one to left field. Carrera going over, but will play it. And a few bounces there in the corner. Robinson going to take a look and head to second, and he'll make it with a 2-out double. That's his 6th double of the season. And the Mariners with the runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Well, it's the 2nd time they've been able to do that today. After 2 outs, get that double. Kennedy did it back in the 2nd. Robinson hit that low pitch. Look at I don't know if he picked the ball up off the bat or not before he took off. But that ball just sliced into fair territory. He will cruise into second base, and now they'll have an opportunity with 2 outs.
Ichiro Suzuki, the hitter. So for 2 today, but his last time up, he lined a shot to right field that Shin-Soo Choo had to make a diving catch on.
So far in this ball game, Seattle 4 for 7 with 2-out hitting. He's just trying to serve that one to left field. That's the thing. When you play him in left field, he just tries to slide. He doesn't drive the ball that way. You can cheat in a lot in left field, and you'll have an opportunity, if he does get a base hit, to throw that guy out if they choose to send him. With 2 outs, more times than not, they will.
There's Robinson at second base. And a 1-1 count to Ichiro Suzuki. Now 2-1. Gutierrez is on deck. He's 1 for 2 today with a single and a strikeout. So
that single, though, he topped it and it stayed in the infield. Remember, a high hopper. This is the guy that can, hurt you in that situation.
Yes, indeed. Ichiro finds the hole. He'll be to right field for a base hit. Robinson will try and score. Here's the throw from Chu. It's up the line. And Robinson is able to get home safely and allow Ichiro Suzuki to move into scoring position as he heads down to second base. And the game is tied at 2.
Well, they did it again. 2 outs, nobody on. They hit the double and get another base hit. Masterson cannot stop him from scoring. There's a ball he left middle of the plate. And this is the guy you wanted to be careful with the Gutierrez on deck, the right-hander who you can probably dominate. Chu's throw way up the line. He tried to throw it all the way in the air and lets Ichiro go to second base. So now they just switch positions. They've got the go-ahead run in scoring position now.
So the Mariners have scored both runs after 2 outs today. Both times they had 2 outs and nobody on.
And then they hit the double and they get another run. They drive them in. So they've been their 2-out hitting has been very clutch in this ball game today. Masterson has not been able to close out the inning.
Gutierrez drives that one to left center. That one will go off the wall. It'll score Suzuki. Gutierrez on his way to second, and he has a double. So the Mariners take the lead 3-2 on a double by Franklin Gutierrez, who is 2 for 3 today.
Well, their third double now, and one of the few sliders that Justin throws, and this one is a hanger. That stayed middle of the plate, and Gutierrez did damage to it. Hits it into left center field. So the second time in this ball game where they have had 3 straight 2-out hits. And this they take advantage of with 2 doubles. And they take the lead 3-2.
So now Dustin Ackley with the runner on second. He's 0 for 2 today.
For whatever reason, when I look at the numbers for Justin in day games, he's made 8 starts during the day. His record is 1-4, and his ERA is over 5. That's hard to figure out because when you look at night games, he's down to 244, and he has 9 and 3 with a record. So it's hard to figure out.
There's a lot of guys too that are the exact opposite. For a while, Carmona in day games was devastating, especially in 2007. So sometimes it's simply a mystery. I don't know if there's anything to this, but Masterson's one win came against the White Sox when it was a cloudy day and a cold day here.
That was the second game or third game of the year, let's say.
So every game he's pitched with the sun out during the day, he struggled a little bit. Could it be the hitters see the ball better?
I don't know. It's hard to figure out. Some guys like to hit during the day, some hate it.
That pop-up will be corralled by Asdrubal Cabrera. And the Mariners retired here in the 5th inning. However, they get 2 runs home on 3 hits. Mariners up now 3-2. Indians trail now 3-2. First time they've been down today. We'll see hitters 9, 1, and 2, and manager Manny Acta's order. Valbuena, Carrera, and Cabrera. Valbuena fly out. His first time up. And he takes ball 1. It's third baseman Adam Kennedy playing in on the infield grass at third. You see the Mariners defense against Valbuena. 2-0 now to Luis. Mariners 3 runs on 7 hits. Indians 2 runs on 5 hits. Both clubs errorless ball. Both clubs have left 3 runners on. Now 2-1 as Valbuena fouls that one back. A nice play by a fan there. Round of applause. Seen some nice catches today by the fielders in the stands.
Yeah, a lot of people have brought their glove. This one did not.
Valbuena right back at Bevan. He'll make the underhanded toss. 1 out for the Tribe here in the 5th inning.
Well, it's that time of year again. It's time to talk about Cleveland Indians Fantasy Camp. That's held out in Goodyear, Arizona. That'll take place January 14th through the 21st this year. It's an all-inclusive week where it includes airfare, great hotel accommodations, and a lifetime of memories. You get uniforms, roster, memories of a lifetime. Call 216-420-HITS. And all the proceeds will benefit Cleveland Indians charities.
Carrera takes strike 1, Rick. I've talked to several people that have gone to that. They talk about that even a couple of years after they've done it. They keep talking about it.
They get an opportunity. You know, actually, that when it's over in Florida, it's not officially over because they get an opportunity to come here, spend a day playing games at Jacobs Field when the team is on the road and play against campers that they play against all week long. So really is a good time.
That one just out of our reach. 1-2 to Carrera. And to have the opportunity to play with guys that many of them grew up watching. You're down there. I've seen Lenny Barker down there.
Oh, yeah.
A host of guys are down there.
There's about anywhere from 18 to 20, from the old-timers of Mudcat Grant, Gary Bell, to Max Elvis, to we'll have a couple coming in, Scott Bales and Greg Swindell, Tabler, Charbonneau. Yeah, there's a ton of guys. It's a lot of fun.
Even saw you had Brian Anderson, who said he had a little trouble there.
Brian Anderson, I don't know. We're not thinking of bringing him back. He pulled he was the youngest guy down there.
Got hurt,
and he was playing in the pros games that play against the Campers, and he pulled a hammy. He may not be invited back. He embarrassed us. He tried to run too fast, and he paid for it. We wanted to show that video when we were playing Tampa this year. We never did because the timing just wasn't, didn't work out right.
You could have asked him about that.
But I've got ammunition. No. It's waiting in the wings.
Going to save that for a good time. 1-2 to Carrera. And he serves that one to left, but it's foul. Carrera's gone that opposite field now. These last couple of games trying to go that way.
Well, if you throw him down and away, that's his swing plane. He's going to hit it. I mean, he can get on top of it. He can hit a line drive. I would think most people try to jam him in there and pitch him up to hit balls in the air because he's not going to drive them that way. There you go. He tried to come inside. He didn't get it in there, and he turned on it. Little guys that with short, quick swings, it's tough to get inside on with 2 strikes.
And Carrera delivers as he turns on that one for a double, and now Zeke 2 for 3 today. He's in scoring position with 1 out.
That's their 4th double today. And look, when you try and get inside on a young little guy that with not long arms and he tries to make contact, they can turn on you in a hurry. And that's exactly what he did. You have to force him that ball away and upstairs and then make him work it that way. But you get it in there. He was quick. He turned on it, and he has his 2nd hit of the afternoon. So there's the tying run out there at second base.
That's dribble Cabrera, 0 for 2. Takes a pitch off the plate for ball 1. Droop's trying to add on to his career-high 74 RBI this year. And to try to tie this game once again. It's been back and forth. Now Olivo couldn't find it. But Carrera wasn't sure, so he had to stay put at second base.
Now, almost looked like he was crossed up on that ball right there. You see, he was going inside for something else. I thought it looked like he was going after a breaking ball, and that fastball handcuffed him, but he didn't go out and talk to him. Unless it was his fault for putting down the fingers and he realized it.
So 2-0 to Cabrera. And now Oliva's going to go out there and talk to Blake Bevan.
Well, let's send out some birthday wishes this afternoon. Helen Moritz of Mansfield is turning 90. Helen, a happy birthday to you. Doris Hagman of Youngstown is turning 84. Very happy birthday. And Floyd W. Shaw of Cleveland is 83. Happy birthday.
Asdrubal Cabrera batting .321 now with runners in scoring position. Trying to deliver here. Hits that 2-0 pitch foul. That was the 80th pitch of the day for Blake Bevan.
You know, when you look at him, Bevan I'm talking about, the first time through the lineup, teams are hitting .324 off him. The second time, .246, and the third, .222. It usually goes down, but the Indians have done it a different way. They had 2 hits, 2 out of 8 their first time through. They had 3 for 9 their second time. And then for the third time, they're 1 for 1.
Cabrera leaned out of the way there, but a strike called by home plate umpire James Hoy. So now it's 2-2.
Well, look at it. He must have been looking away. And Cabrera is right on the plate. I will say that. When he's looking away and you buzz him inside, that's where you can lock him up. Those hands are right over the inside part of home plate.
Cabrera pops that one up on the infield. Shortstop Seager will haul it in for the second out. So 2 away here in the 5th inning for Shin-Soo Choo, who doubled his last time up. Now he'll bat with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. (3-2) this afternoon in Game 1 of the doubleheader. We'll have Game 2 for you as well here on Sports Time Ohio. 7:05 Game 2 start time. A couple of guys coming up from AAA. McAllister. Zach McAllister for Cleveland. Anthony Vasquez for Seattle. Chu punches that one foul.
Boy, you talk about another nice play. Guy sitting right under the terrace club. I mean, in the last row. Made a catch standing, and that was a great play. Nicely done.
We've seen a number of them today. 0-1 to Chu with Ezekiel Carrera on second base and 2 outs. Up the middle, Bevan. Quick play with the glove. And a nice play. That retires Chu, and that retires the Tribe here in the 5th inning. So they get a double from Carrera. Can't score him. And the Indians still down 3-2. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians Fun Money, and you'll get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. 3-2 Mariners as we head to the 6th inning here. And if you can read this, thank a teacher. We just did.
Thank you, Al.
You're welcome.
I'm thanking you, the teacher.
Well, I'm not the teacher.
Yeah, you are.
No, you're the
my
teacher. You're the veteran.
You're my teacher.
In what? The backstroke?
Well, we don't have to talk about that on the air.
6th inning, Carp, Wells, and Kennedy for Seattle. Mike Carp fouls off his second straight pitch, 0-2 now. Carp struck out both times he's been at the plate today. Justin Masterson with 4 strikeouts. Mike Carp having a nice campaign here, batting .312. Pops that one to short left field. Carrera will make the catch, 1 out. So 1 out for Casper Wells. Guy that Eric Wedge really likes. They acquired him from Detroit in that Doug Fister deal. And Eric Wedge thinks that Casper Wells has a chance to be a real nice ball player.
Well, off to a very good start. And he's definitely going to get an opportunity playing right field in this ball game. But, you know, anytime you're a right-handed hitter and you have to face Justin Masterson, you have your work cut out for you because right-handers hitting just 198 coming into this game. And Wells has been on some kind of a tear, 6 homers since joining the Mariners in 5 out of his last 8 games. So anytime you got a guy that might be able to hit a ball out of the ballpark, especially on a team like the Mariners, you're certainly going to get an opportunity. Their first baseman, Justin Smoke, is on the DL, and that's the guy that they got in the Cliff Lee deal from Texas. He's their first baseman. He got hit right in the forehead a couple of weeks ago. But when you put him, he's a switch hitter, left and right, and he has some pop. That stretches their lineup out. You know, we're witnessing it with the Indians. When you take some of their RBI guys out of there, you go a little thin. 5 strikeouts now for Masterson.
So 2 outs here in the 6th inning as we take a look at our Toyota recap, brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Lonnie Chisenhall with an RBI single put the Tribe up 2-1, but then Ichiro Suzuki tied it up here with this single. He took second on the throw. Franklin Gutierrez brought him in. 3-2. That's where we're at here. 6th inning at Progressive Field. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Well, the Mariners with 2 outs and nobody on. However, Rick, they've scored all 3 runs today when they've had this same situation.
Well, today they're 6 for 10 with 2 outs, and which is strange because for the year, the rest of the league hitting just .223 with 2 outs against Justin. But for some strange reason, they've been able to put together 2 innings, and 1 in the 2nd. They had 3 straight hits with 2 outs, and back in the 5th, and that's when they've scored. But each time, it followed the Indians putting their 1 run on the board. So he has, you know, they haven't been able to just keep the momentum going in their direction.
2-2 the count to Adam Kennedy. Got a piece, and Santana held on. Another strikeout for Justin Masterson, his 6th today. 2nd of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Tribe down by a run. Game 1 of a day-night doubleheader. Tribe trailing the Mariners 3-2. It'll be Santana, Fukudome, and Chisenhall. Hitters 4, 5, and 6 in the order against Blake Bevan, who's thrown 84 pitches today for the Mariners, but the rookie right now in line for the win. And that's quite an improvement over his last 2 outings, where he's pitched a total of 11 1/3 innings and given up 11 runs.
Yep. You're right. He has been roughed up in his last couple of starts, but those coming against Eastern Division clubs. One was against Toronto, the other one against Boston. And, you get into that East, you got some teams that can swing the bats.
Yes, you do.
You go to the West, you got some teams that can really pitch.
Jared Weaver just signed a 5-year extension. Santana looks upstairs there at ball 3. So the Angels going to have him for 5 more years. And they've got some good pitching there on that Angels staff.
Yes, they do. Matter of fact, they're playing the White Sox tonight. You got Burley against Santana. Of course, Santana, the guy that pitched the no-hitter against the Tribe.
And after coming into that game, he was 0-6 lifetime against Cleveland.
His first career win. He made it worthwhile. One to remember.
The only no-hitter here at Progressive Field. Santana pops that one high in the air on the infield. Adam Kennedy says he has it. 1 out here in the 6th inning. Hey, folks, join Manny Acta and other celebrities for a party in the park on East 4th Street Thursday from 5 until 10. Enjoy celebrity bowling, billiards, and a silent auction at Corner Alley. Free concerts, giveaways, and more on East 4th. Get involved, buy tickets, and check it all out at impactakids.org. Pretty cool thing. Make sure that you stop by. Manny Acta loves to be involved in the community. Here's Fukudome, who's 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles today, and he's been right on Bevan.
He sure has. Driven in one, and he scored one.
Fouls that one away. Evens the count at 1-1. Blake Bevan coming into today's game with the Mariners. 3-4 with a .410 earned run average. That ERA now has gone down just a touch to 4.03. Nice looking young pitcher. Only 22 years old, from Irving, Texas, originally with the Rangers. There was a strike there for 2-2, and Bevan came over in that Cliff Lee deal, and they like him a lot here in Seattle.
Well, anytime you get a young pitcher that's getting an opportunity, it takes a little while for him to, get acclimated to the big leagues, to feel comfortable, to learn the league. I mean, we witnessed it a couple times. Once with Carrasco, we've seen, the younger pitchers the Indians have. You don't necessarily do it that first year given the opportunity. It takes a little while to learn your craft. It's not an easy thing to do. But 22 is early. That's young for pitchers.
That one is just foul.
Ooh, good break there. Not by much.
No. You feel like you're seeing that a little more too, Rick, with most pitchers when they get to the big leagues now are not 19 or 20. Like, we'll have our AT&T trivia answer coming up here, but it's not often you see those real young guys at the major league level anymore. And Rick Porcello came up with the Tigers, and he was 20, I believe, when he made his debut. But it seems maybe because the development of college baseball programs, more kids going to college, so they're older when they come out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys are going to college now when they come out, and that's what you want to draft. Somebody that's has logged a few more innings. You get to look at them a little while longer.
Fukudome is 3 for 3. Couple of doubles and now a single for Kosuke. 1 out here in the 6th inning, and he's on first base with Lonnie Chisenhall coming to the plate. And Katie Witham has a tidbit for you on Lonnie Chisenhall, Katie.
Well, guys, pitchers are definitely throwing Lonnie Chisenhall differently. He told me earlier he's seeing a lot more changeups, sliders low and inside, and it's really forced him to change his approach at the plate. He's now trying to be a lot more patient, but aggressive enough to jump on that one fastball he sees a game. But the big thing for him is just making sure he doesn't get caught in between right now, guys.
Well, that's a good point, because the patience is if you don't get that fastball on your first pitch, you take it. And if it happens to be a breaking ball for a strike, okay, you live with it. At least you get to look at it. But they're going to show and attack you with breaking balls, and just if you get that one fastball, don't miss it.
And he lines that one right down the right field line. Fukudome around second on his way to third. Smitty will hold him there. It's a double for Lonnie Chisenhall, and now the Tribe has runners at second and third with one away here in the sixth.
Yeah, don't miss it. He didn't miss that one. The Indians get their fifth double of the game. He got himself a nice fastball, and he turned on it. And that's the difference, I think, between big league hitters and minor leagues. When you do get a pitch to hit, you don't foul it off. When you do, you're in a slump. When you don't, you get a base hit, and that's how you make your living as a big league hitter. And he gets his double. So now this inning's set up for the Indians with second and third and just one out. Carl Willis goes out to the mound. He's going to have his talk with Bevan.
So the Indians threatening here in the sixth inning, down by a run. That double for Chisenhall, the eighth of the season for him. He's 2 for 3 today in the DH role. Now the Indians with a couple in scoring position for Matt Laporta, who struck out twice. As Dan Cortez gets loose in the Seattle bullpen. Matt Laporta hitting .267 with 34 runs batted in with runners in scoring position, and he takes ball one. And Laporta drives that one to deep left center. Gutierrez will get there, but Fukudome will tag, and he'll score. Now Chisenhall going to third. The throw comes there. He's safe, and the Indians have tied the game at 3. Matt Laporta comes through with the sac fly.
Okay, back to square one. Job well done. Get that guy in from third base. Now see if the Indians can get a 2-out base hit.
With Chisenhall moving to third, Jack Hanahan will see if he can deliver him as he takes strike one. Hanahan today 0 for 2, hit the ball hard his last time up in the fourth inning, lined out to Dustin Ackley for the double play. So the Indians scored first. They were up 1-0. Seattle tied it. Tribe was up 2-1. Seattle took the lead 3-2. Now the Indians have tied it at 3.
Now they have to find a way when you go out in the top half of the inning to put a 0 on the board. They haven't been able to do that yet.
In the hole, pitcher covering Bevan will take the throw from second baseman Dustin Ackley, and Hanahan's retired. But the Indians tie it. Fukudome scores on the sac fly by Matt Laporta. We're heading to the 7th.
all tied up at 3 right now. Make sure you're out here at the ballpark this weekend. Kansas City's coming to town. Tons going on. Friday night, we have Sugardale Dollar Dog Night, half-price student ID, and post-game fireworks set to country's hottest music. And then Sunday, it is KeyBank Kids Fun Day. We've got all those activities out there on the Gateway Plaza. Kids can stay to move it around the bases afterwards. Sponsored by the Cleveland Clinic. You can get your tickets online now for as low as just $8. Al, Rick, back up to you guys.
All right, Katie, another great weekend of promotion shaping up here at Progressive Field. Fireworks night on Friday. That's always fun. Great fireworks display here.
How about your dollar dogs? That's where you eat dinner.
Uh-huh.
Do your pregame show and go up and have dinner for $5.
Well, that would be 5 hot dogs. I'll have dinner for $2. How's that?
No,
5.
2's
plenty. 5. Whoa.
We've been known to play some long games now.
Yeah, that's true. Miguel Olivo on the ground to third. Jack Hanahan makes that nice play. 1 out here in the top half of the 7th inning. 3-3 game. Leadoff hitters for Seattle now are 0 for 8, while the rest are 7 for 18. Let's take a look now at our AT&T trivia question. Name the only pitcher since 1901 to have a 20-win season at age 20 and 21. I'm going to guess Doc Gooden, but I'm probably wrong. Oh, of course, Bob Feller. 24 at age 20, 27 at age 21. Bob Feller, one of the all-time greats, arguably the greatest right-handed pitcher in American League history. And today is the 75th anniversary of his first major league start. He struck out 15. He was only 17 years old, Mike Pocta tells me.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Could you imagine a 17-year-old nowadays pitching a major league game and striking out 17?
No, siree.
2-1 here to Kyle Seager. 1 out in the 7th inning. 3 all. Tribe and Mariners game 1 of a day-night doubleheader. Game 2 tonight, 7:05. Again here on Sports Time Ohio. And he smokes that one to right center field. Chu going over. And he'll have to play it off the wall. So Seager will head into second base with a stand-up double with 1 out here in the 7th inning.
He's had a couple of good at-bats today. Single, now a double. Finds the gap. That's his first career double. There's that fastball, and losing a little steam there at 90 miles per hour. He took advantage of it. So that'll be 8 hits now for Seattle. And that is the go-ahead run in scoring position.
There's Trayvon Robinson. He doubled his last time up. He fouls that one away. So the line score for both teams is the same. 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors. One strike on Robinson. And he pounds that one in the ground. Hanahan will look the runner back at second. Throw out Robinson. 2 outs here in the 7th inning. That'll bring the very dangerous Ichiro Suzuki to the plate, who's 1 for 3 today with a single and an RBI back in the 5th inning.
Yeah, he got the base hit with 2 outs to drive in Robinson back in the 5th. And then Gutierrez was able to add to that. Manny Acta coming out, and I think that's exactly what he's talking to him about. He didn't make a good pitch to Gutierrez. He hung him a breaking ball and left one spin in the middle of the plate. And I think Manny's talking to him exactly about this matchup here with Ichiro and Gutierrez on deck. And he's talking directly to Justin. So now that they've got that cleared up, let's see how they go about it.
So 2 outs with a runner at second base. Game tied at 3, top of the 7th inning here. Suzuki, the designated hitter for the Mariners in game 1.
There they go. They're just going to walk him this time. That's what I felt they should have done last time, but he went ahead and pitched to him, and he got the base hit. So they're just going to intentionally put on Suzuki. That's the first walk for Masterson today. But now you got to make your pitches to Gutierrez, and I don't think he's going to mess around spinning him up there again. if he does throw that breaking ball, I guarantee it'll be away. I mean, outside. It will not be for a strike.
Franklin is 2 for 3 today, but the first hit, like you pointed out, Rick, was an infield single that bounced off the plate. So.
Right. I mean, that happens when you're facing a guy like Masterson because of the movement of the ball. The right-handers may get a couple hits, but they'll beat it into the ground.
So Ichiro heads to first base, and now the Mariners with runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the 7th. For Franklin Gutierrez, who has that single and double today, struck out his other time up back in the 3rd. And a key moment in the ball game right here for Justin Masterson, who is at 90 pitches.
Yeah, and you know what? I think this is the right thing to do, but if you're Gutierrez, a former Indian, he's saying, all right, he's licking his chops. This is what I want. I want to get a chance to beat you guys now because they just put the guy on in front of me, so it's up to me.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, he's anxious.
Good movement on that fastball from Masterson. Seattle for the season with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, hitting just .187, but today they are 3 for 5. And that one off of Gutierrez at the plate. It's a foul ball. It's 0-2 now, and he's in some pain.
I don't know exactly where that went off of, but he went down in a hurry. Let's see. Did that go off the back knee?
I couldn't tell.
I think it did. I think it went off his back knee. I mean, you don't hear it. You see it hit the ground, but watch the thud. Boom, it sure did. It sure did. It went off his knee and then down into the ground when we heard it. But as soon as that ball hit his leg, he went down, and he is hurting.
I think you're right. It did hit his knee first and then the ground.
Yes, it did. I mean, we've seen some strange things this year, and this is another one of them. Where, usually you see it off your front foot and your ankle. And, I mean, a lot of hitters do that, and that's where he has the protection. But how many times do you see it go off their back leg? That is a rarity. That hurts. Now you just need some time. Throw another one in there if you're Masterson. He'll be a little leery about swinging at it.
And he's down on the count 0-2. The Mariners have scored all 3 of their runs today after there have been 2 outs, and that's the situation we're in again. And Masterson will try and work through this here. A ground ball to third. That is foul as it took a weird hop.
It hit the edge of the grass. Yep. But, I mean, look at the play that Hanahan still made. He was able to catch that ball after it ricocheted, and he tried to keep a foot on the bag. Watch it hit the corner of the grass. Kick left on your screen. And look at, he's still able to get it and hit the bag. That's pretty impressive.
He would have been out.
He would have been. That's almost like a goalie smothering it. And then he puts that foot, the back foot comes in and kicks the bag. Good, nice effort.
Great job by our crew getting that shot there.
Well, our crew here, they don't miss a beat. They never miss anything.
No, they do not. So again, it's 0-2 with 2 aboard. That one down and away. Kyle Seager on second base. Ichiro Suzuki on first, 2 outs. And a 1-2 count to Franklin Gutierrez with 2 outs here in the 7th and a tie game. And again outside. And Masterson didn't miss by much.
No, but Santana's sitting out there. You watch, he's sitting off the plate. And, he hits the glove, the target. That ball is outside. It has some movement coming back, but that's a good place to sit when you're ahead of the hitter.
A grounder to third. Hanahan. Throw across the diamond. That's out number 3. So the Mariners get a couple aboard, but they leave them. They don't get anything here in the top of the 7th. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Time now for the Cleveland Clinic 7th inning stretch. Indians fans, it's time for you to get up and move it.
Brought to you by Levin Furniture, home of the Silly's Posturepedic mattress, made in Northeast Ohio. And by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. It's time to join the Hyundai movement.
I like Panini's franchise group on Facebook for your chance to win giveaways and prizes. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher. And the call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. And the Indians here in the bottom of the 7th inning against Dan Cortez. It'll be Valbuena, then the top of the order, Carrera and Cabrera. Again, Adam Kennedy playing close at third base, but it's not often we see Valbuena try to bunt for a hit, Rick.
Do you ever remember him bunting for a hit?
I don't.
I don't either.
Kennedy's creeping in. It's a strike from Cortez. Valbuena today 0 for 2. A fly out and ground out. It's that one to left. That one's going to slice foul into the seats. So 2-2 now to Luis Valbuena. He was torn it up at AAA Columbus, hitting .299 and bats in the middle of the order, but here with Cleveland, only 129 this year. Now a full count to Valbuena, as the Indians trying to get their leadoff hitter on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ball 4. So Cortez walks the leadoff batter. As Valbuena heads down to first base. And here's our Miller Taste Greatness moment of the game. On this date, back in 2006, the Indians rally from way back to beat the Royals 15-14 5 years ago at the K. 29 runs combined for the Royals and the Indians. That's our Miller Taste Greatness moment. So here's Carrera. He bunts straight up in the air. Foul. Olivo makes the easy catch.
Kid's having a hard time bunting the baseball.
So just like that, 1 out now with Valbuena still at first base.
Well, when you go to bunt, let's check his bat angle, and you can see it is behind home plate. And he pushes at it and pops it straight up in the air. And that's the perfect reason why some pitchers will throw a lot of, in a bunt situation, high fastballs, because that's exactly what they want you to do.
So 1 out for Asdrubal Cabrera. He's 0 for 3 today. Fly out, ground out, and a pop out. That one high and tight.
This guy looks like he could be effectively wild. He just rears back and throws it, and I don't know if he knows where it's going. You'll see this ball up and under. Get out of the way. I think it would be tough to sit in a location for this guy.
.6'6" from Pomona, California. It's a big guy out there. Cabrera hits that one high in the air to short right. Casper Wells coming on. 2 outs here in the 7th. So now Shin-Soo Choo. 1 for 3 today with a double back in the 3rd inning. Valbuena still at first base with those 2 outs. Today's attendance 22,805 for game 1 of this doubleheader. Ball 1 to Shin-Soo Choo. Stay with Sports Time Ohio all day long. Coming up next, we'll have our Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. Then it's All Bets Are Off with Chuck Galletti. 6:30, Indians on deck. 7:05, game 2 with the Mariners. After the game, training camp daily. Then Chuck's back for Chuck's last call.
He's got double duty today, too, huh?
So a full day of live programming for you here on Sports Time Ohio. 2-0 to Choo with Valbuena on first base. He hits that one foul. And that one will make the seats by a couple of rows. Trayvon Robinson gave it a look. Indians trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. They enter play today 5.5 behind Detroit in the American League Central. Tied with the White Sox. Now 3-1 to Choo with Carlos Santana on deck. And ball 4. So 2 walks this inning for Cortez, and now the Indians will have 2 on with 2 out. So Valbuena gets pushed to second base in scoring position for Carlos Santana. Miguel Oliva with a few words for Cortez. Now Eric Wedge on the top step of the dugout. What's going on here? Looks like they might. Does Cortez have a problem?
He's bringing him out, the trainer out, so it's not a full-fledged appearance at the mound. I don't know if they saw something after a delivery when he got rid of the ball or he flinched or whatever. But Eric Wedge was looking for that trainer in the. Let's check it out. There's his last pitch. No, this could be a stall tactic until that guy in the bullpen's ready. It won't count as an appearance. You'll get a chance to talk to him.
Now, there's nothing we could pick up from the replay.
No, there wasn't, unless they know something going into it that we don't.
Right.
I mean, they'll sit and let him throw a couple of pitches. That's right. It's all over the place, so he's ready.
That's a good point. That's his M.O.
High. I don't know if Wedgie's trying to talk him into getting out of there or what. Well, he just said he's coming out of the game. They're going to their bullpen. I don't know what it is, if it was an ankle or whatever that might have bothered him, but they're going to bring on a new pitcher, and he will get all the time he needs to get ready.
So Dan Cortez, 2/3 of an inning, walked two. The two left on base are his responsibility. We'll get a new pitcher. We'll talk more about him when we come back. We are tied at 3, bottom of the 7th inning at Progressive Field. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Gathering Place supports, educates, and empowers individuals and families touched by cancer. For every Indians home run, Matt and Rick will each donate $5 to the Gathering Place, while Great Clips donates $50. Our total so far this season is $6,720. For more information, visit touchedbycancer.org. Great needs, great deeds, great clips. So Jamie Wright taking all the warm-up pitches he needs and taking plenty of them here. And he's been around for a while, Rick.
Well, yeah, Jamie's been around. He's been with a lot of different teams. I mean, you go back to Colorado back in the early 90s for Jamie Wright, and this guy's a sinker ball pitcher. But when he's coming into a situation like this, you better make sure he is ready. He's got first and second with the game, on the line. He's facing Carlos Santana. He's going to make sure everything is working before he says, I am ready. So it'll be a couple more pitches, and he'll be ready to roll. But he's a sinker-slider guy. And Cortez come out of the game. We haven't heard anything. Maybe we will here shortly. We don't know what happened, but he was just wild enough to walk 2 guys.
So Wright is now ready. Carlos Santana 0 for 2 today with a walk. Will bat. And Kosuke Fukudome is on deck, who is 3 for 3 today. Santana trying to extend that 7-game hitting streak. Also trying to put the Indians ahead here. Ball 1 from Wright. Santana batting just .210 against right-handed pitchers this year, .299 when a lefty is on the hill. But 2-0 from Wright. And the first 2 tribesmen that reached this inning reached on walks. And now it's 2-0 to Carlos Santana. And he hits that one hard to right. That's down for a base hit. Valbuena being waved in. He'll score. Throw comes to third base. And out at third base is Chu, but Valbuena scored before he was out, so it will count. And the Indians take the lead 4-3 on the RBI single for Carlos Santana. So the inning's over, but the Indians take the lead 4-3.
In any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
8th inning. Indians up now 4-3 after they got that RBI single by Carlos Santana in the 7th. Chu thrown out at third ends the inning. But the Indians get that important run. Now it's Ackley, Karp, and Wells for Seattle, and quickly 0-2 to Dustin Ackley against Justin Masterson, who has thrown 98 pitches today. There's his line thus far. Ackley able to lay off that one. Masterson has walked only one batter. That was an intentional walk of Suzuki in the last inning. Struck out 6. Now 2-2 to Dustin Ackley. Only had one inning today, Rick, that he threw over 20 pitches as Tony Sipp gets loose in the bullpen. That ball hit in the air to center field. Can of corn for Fukudome. 1 out. Take a look at this throw, Rick, to end that last inning.
Well, it was a good throw. He's going away. He's going toward the line. He's going to take it and forget the guy at home. He's going all the way to third base. Look at this. Body going one way, throw gumping the other, and makes a perfect one-hop throw to third base. That's a pretty impressive throw. Good arm. And that stops the inning.
So he just got chewed. The tag applied by Adam Kennedy. Casper Wells with that gun. One out here in the 8th inning now for Mike Karp. 0 for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts. He has reached base in 30 straight games. Trying to extend that streak here. It's the longest of the season for a Mariner.
Well, this could be his last opportunity. His 20-game hit streak stopped last night. But he was hit by a pitch.
1-2 now to Mike Karp. Now the count evens at 2-2. 105 pitches today for Justin Masterson. And a fly ball to right. Chu drifting back. Sunglasses down, shading his eyes, making the catch. 2 down. That'll bring Casper Wells to the plate, who's 0 for 3. You know, one of the things you love about Justin Masterson, Rick, is it gets later in a ball game, boy, he wants to be out there, and he keeps throwing quality pitches.
Well, you like it. He only walked one, as you mentioned. It was intentional. And, yeah, he's a big, strong guy, man. He wants to finish what he starts. Rarity today, he gave up more than his 2 earned runs that he had given up only 20 times. But the offense has been able to put 4 solo runs on the board, one in the 1st, 4th, 6th, and 7th. So close out this inning here with 2 outs. The only time that Seattle scored today is after they had 2 outs, nobody on. They've been able to hit doubles with 2 outs and then keep it going and drive in their runs.
Casper Wells broke his bat on that foul ball, so he gets a new one. 1-1 the count. 2 outs, nobody on here in the 8th inning. Tried by a run. No one has led it by more than 1 run today. We've been tied. Both teams have had the lead by 1. Close ball game, well played ball game on a gorgeous day here today in game 1 of a doubleheader at Progressive Field. Now 2 strikes to Wells. $22,000 plus showing their support for Justin Masterson. So he tries to get out of the inning here with Casper Wells at the plate in search of his 7th strikeout. Got him. Justin Masterson. Good effort today. Mariners retired in the 8th inning. 3 up, 3 down. Tribe by a run. 4-3, gorgeous day for game one of a doubleheader. A lot of parents with their kids here enjoying one of the final days of summer vacation for many of them.
School starts tomorrow, doesn't it?
A lot of places.
Yes, it does.
Kosuke Fukudome has had a great day at the plate. He's 3 for 3, couple of doubles and a single. He also has 2 runs scored, and he picked up his 24th run batted in of the season overall. Jamie Wright came on back in the 7th inning, and he quickly jumps ahead of Fukudome, 0-2. Stays alive. Fukudome now with Cleveland, hitting .277. He hits that one up the middle, and Jamie Wright makes a nice play, and for the first time today, Kosuke Fukudome is retired. 1 out. Today's box score is brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. Fukudome, the team leader, with that 3 for 4 day. Chisenhall, 2 for 3 as the designated hitter. Ezekiel Carrera also had a couple of hits. Chu and Santana, the others. It's brought to you by Hyundai. Now Chisenhall picked up his 8th RBI of the season, last time up. It's that one hard on the ground to short. Seager makes the play, 2 down. All right, don't forget to stick around after the game today for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show right here on STO. We will have highlights for you from around Major League Baseball, highlights from the Indians, analysis, and more. Chuck Galletti will have the 3rd segment for you. Then he'll also have All Bets Are Off and take you up to 6:30 with Indians on deck for Game 2. Conrad's, home of the lowest everyday tire price guarantee. Just simply keep it here today on STO all day long as Matt Laporta rips that one to left center. That one will go off the wall on a bounce. Matt's on his way to second base. He'll stop there with a stand-up double with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. His first hit today.
Well, wasn't going to spot him a strike here. And let's see the location on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. A sinker that stayed up. And Laporta just stayed back, used his hands nicely, drove it into left center field. So another double for the Indians. That's 6 doubles today in the afternoon. And one more chance to add on here.
Jack Hanahan will also see if he can increase his 6-game hitting streak. So he takes ball 1. Jack 0 for 3 today. Lined into a double play, though, back in the 4th inning. So he's been hitting the ball well lately. Hanahan hitting .298 with runners in scoring position this year, and now it's 2-0. There's a strike from Jamie Wright. Indians lead it by 1. They'd love to add another here. Now 3-1 to Jack Hanahan with Luis Valbuena on deck. He walked and scored the go-ahead run his last time up in the 7th inning. There's Laporta on second base. And Hanahan grounds that one foul. So a full count to Jack Hanahan. Here's the payoff. Another foul ball for Hanahan. Now, Rick Jacks talked about that short swing that he said he had at the start of the year, got away from a little bit, but has it back again, and it makes a difference.
Well, it certainly does. The longer you are, the easier it is to pitch to, the more holes you have.
Hanahan stays alive.
I mean, a case in point right there on a pitch away. He's able to shorten it up and at least foul it off to live for another pitch.
And ball 4. So Jack Hanahan, the good at bat, works the walk. His first of the day. He's on base for the first time today, and now 2 aboard for Luis Valbuena with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Valbuena this year 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. 0 for 2 today with that walk and run scored back in the 7th. And 1-0 to Valbuena. Now 1-1 as Miguel Olivo took a look at Laporta at second base but did not throw.
Well, he was way out there thinking that Valbuena was going to put that ball in play. He was about halfway there.
Laporta wants to get that jump to score on a base hit. Valbuena trying to do it. A 1-1 count. Now the play at second base, and whoa, almost a wild throw. A diving knockdown by Seager to stop it from going to center field. Looked like a goalkeeper there.
Well, he had to. I mean, if they get a good throw, you could see the timing play. They tried it earlier in the game, and it worked very well because Bevan made a very nice throw. That one was high and wide. Had to save it.
Swing and a miss. So now right ahead of Valbuena, 1-2. Luis, formerly of the Mariners organization, he was a part of that big 3-team deal with the Mets, Mariners, and Indians back in 08. Joe Smith and Valbuena came here to Cleveland. That pitch outside. Ezekiel Carrera, who was a part of that deal, he went from the Mets to Seattle, is now here in Cleveland as well. Fans come to life. Valbuena with a 2-2 count. And swings and hits it hard, but on one hop, it's knocked down by the second baseman. The toss to second, and the out there is Ackley. Flips it to Seager. So the Indians threaten but do not score in the 8th. We're going to the 9th. Try by 1 as Masterson's coming back out. As manager Manny Actis says, I'll stay with my ace. 4-3 Indians. And the first pitch grounded to first base. Adam Kennedy is out number one. The 111th pitch today for Masterson. And he's 2 outs away from the complete game.
Well, that's always big when you can get that first out, especially on the first pitch. That gives you a big boost of confidence out there.
So now Miguel Olivo, who's 1 for 3 today with a single. He also struck out back in the 5th inning. Masterson with 7 strikeouts today. Only 1 walk, and that was intentional. Ball 1 on that 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Chris Perez getting loose in the bullpen. Here's a shot to center, and it falls for a base hit. Miguel Olivo is aboard with 1 out here in the 9th inning. And we're going to see a pinch runner.
Well, that ball, you see Olivo, he finds a way to hit that fastball. He's a dead red hitter. He gets this one. It'll be in front of Fukudome. So the tying run aboard. And let's see who's running for Miguel Olivo.
Looks like Brendan Ryan. So he'll pinch run for Olivo.
Well, Perez just got up and has thrown a couple of pitches. So now Tim Belcher going to come and stall for some time to let him get ready. So he's going to have his talk until he can get ready. Well, Janet Burke of Holland, New York is turning 40 today. Janet, happy birthday. Francis Taylor is 91. Ed Oluski of Columbus is turning 30. Juan Torres of Gahana is 27. And Carly Kustelik of Medina is 6. Happy birthday to each and everyone out there today.
One out here in the 9th inning. Ryan at first base, the pinch runner. And Kyle Seager is going to be at the plate. He takes ball 1 outside. Seager today 2 for 3 with a single and double. That is first double this season. Back in the 7th inning. That one hit foul and into the seats. 1-1 now to Kyle Seager. Well, Justin Masterson looking for his 2nd complete game of the season and the 4th of his career. Chris Perez is getting loose in the Tribe bullpen as the Indians try and end this 4-game losing streak here in Game 1 of a day-night doubleheader. That foul ball. It's now 1-2 to Seager. Trayvon Robinson is on deck. This crowd has seen a good ball game today. Comes to life again to support Justin Masterson. Looking for his 8th strikeout today. And a hard hit base hit to right field. Rounding second is Ryan. He'll head to third. Chu's throw will come through, but Ryan there ahead of it. And now the Mariners with runners at the corners and 1 away here in the 9th.
Well, they were playing them away, and they're going to come inside, but that pitch, they wanted it in, and it ekes out over the plate. You can see it move, and he finds that hole. So Seattle not giving up. Gets that ball under the glove of Laporta at first. Manny Actis, has to make a pitching change now. He tried to give him an opportunity to close it out, couldn't do it. So he's going to the pen and bring on Chris Perez.
So a warm round of applause for Justin Masterson, who exits after 8 in the 3rd innings. The 2 base runners are his responsibility. We'll come back and tell you about Chris Perez after this. 4-3 Indians, but the Mariners threatening. They have runners at the corners with one out. Their closer, Chris Perez, on looking for his 28th save.
Well, Chris Perez came on and really scuffled yesterday. He's got to come back. There's no room for error here with runners on the corners.
And he'll pitch to Trayvon Robinson for the first time ever, and he swings and misses for strike one. There's the line on Justin Masterson. The moment he's in line to get the win. But he could get the win, have a no decision, or take the loss, depending on what happens.
Exactly. It can go any way. But I like this. Ahead in the count 0-2.
Robinson today 1 for 3 with a double. Chris Perez ahead of him 0-2. Ryan, the pinch runner, on at third. Kyle Seager's over at first. Perez would love the strikeout. That one just off the plate. 1-2 now to Trayvon Robinson. Ichiro Suzuki is on deck. And the fake to third, the throw to first, but nothing doing. Outside again, 2-2 now to Trayvon Robinson. Robinson trying to get that tying run across for Seattle here with one out in the ninth. And he stays alive there. Again, the 2-2. Ball three, so Robinson.
3 straight.
Good at bat.
Well, 3 straight. He wrapped around trying to make that backdoor breaking ball come in and catch the outside corner. He's missed every time after he fouled off that fastball. So if you're a hitter now, I'm thinking you got to sit fastball. The only pitch he's been able to throw for a strike in this at bat.
Runner goes. A line drive to right field. That's a base hit. That will score the tying run. Seager around third. They're going to wave him in. And there will be no throw. Seattle takes the lead 5-4.
Now Justin Masterson could get the loss. As you were explaining it, he came in and he put himself in a fastball situation and had to throw a fastball. And the kid Robinson took advantage of it. He had nothing to do. He got ahead of him. He missed with 3 breaking balls. He throws him a fastball right down Broadway. And the kid pulls it down into the corner, and they are going to send him all the way. So back comes Seattle with 2 on the board. They take the lead. Now they're going to have to walk Ichiro again.
It's be the second time he's been intentionally walked today. And Trayvon Robinson with a big double. His second today, his 5th and 6th ribbies of the season. And he drives in the tying and go-ahead run to make it 5-4 Seattle. So Ichiro heads to first base. 3rd consecutive time he has reached today. And now Franklin Gutierrez, who's 2 for 4 with a single and double. These fans who are up and cheering for Perez just a moment ago have suddenly gone quiet as Brandon League now, Seattle's closer, loosens in the bullpen. Ball one. Franklin Gutierrez, runners at first and second base now. Still only one out with 2 runs home here in the ninth for Seattle. Boy, Rick, these close games, these close ninth innings, these last 3 nights are really tough. Gutierrez pops that one straight up at the plate. Santana says he'll take it, and he's out number 2. Now, the Indians still have their last at-bats, of course, in the bottom half, but every game has been down to the wire here.
Well, it has been, and right there, that guy has been scuffling. He was bad yesterday. You come in today, and the thing I liked about it, he was ahead in the count to Robinson 0-2, and he missed with a couple of 3 straight backdoor slider. Not straight, I take that back. He mixed in a fastball. The kid fouled it off, but when you're sitting up there, you know what's coming. 3-2, you had to throw him a strike. He did, and he beat him.
You're exactly right. Dustin Ackley takes ball one. He's 0 for 4 today. But there's the man of the hour, Trayvon Robinson. He's given Seattle the lead with his double here in the ninth. Two and 0 now to Dustin Ackley. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth, the Indians have the top of the order in Carrera, Cabrera, and Chu as the scheduled hitters. There's a shot to center field. Fukudome going back. On the track, makes the catch and runs into the wall. So Ackley gave it a ride, but Fukudome tracks it down. And the Indians get out of it without any further damage, but Seattle scores 2 in the ninth. They lead it 5-4. Bottom of the ninth, next. Four Mariners as they've taken the lead in the top half of this inning on a double by Trayvon Robinson, and we've got some changes here in the ninth. Brandon League is on, looking for his second consecutive save against the Tribe in as many nights.
Well, he came in and he struggled a little bit last night as well for the 53rd time. League came in, gave up a couple of singles, but he was able to close it out toward the end. He did get the first 2 guys out. So we'll see what happens. 1-4 record. Brendan Ryan stays in the ball game and remains at shortstop. Kyle Sager goes to third base. Josh Bart in behind the plate.
And Ezekiel Carrera looks at ball one from Brandon League, who was 31 for 35 in save opportunities this year. But one of those blowing saves came earlier in the season here at Progressive Field when Travis Hafner took him yard in the ninth. 2-0 now to Carrera. Just trying to find a way on here in the ninth inning. 3-0 to Ezekiel Carrera.
This is a long way from over.
Yes, it is. Brandon League struggling to find the plate. Asdrubal Cabrera is on deck. There's a strike on a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. 3-1 to Carrera. He's 2 for 4 today with a single and a double. Scored the Indians' first run back in the first inning. Strike 2. So from 3-0 to now 3-2. Carrera lifts that one to left field. Robinson going back, still going back. He won't get it. It's off the wall. Carrera will pull up at second base with the double. That ball just kept carrying, and Robinson couldn't run it down. So the Indians get the leadoff man aboard in the ninth. On second base, Carrera with his second double today.
Well, he hit that ball a long way. You're right. I looked at Robinson. He kept going back and back and back. And that ball short hops the wall. He got a fastball elevated. He stayed on it, and it goes a long way. They were cheating him in, and he gets it over his head and burns him for another double. 7 doubles now for the Indians this afternoon. They have 11 hits. 7 of them have been doubles. So there's that tying run in scoring position. Nobody out, bottom half of the ninth.
And Asdrubal Cabrera, who's due, he's 0 for 4 today. And a look at second, but Carrera was only a few steps off the bag. Tribe trying to get to Brandon League here in the ninth. And a ball hit to second. A look at third. They're going to throw to third. High throw, and Carrera's safe.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Well, Ackley took a look at second.
Thank you.
Or third, and he pumped. And that puts runners at the corners with nobody out now in the ninth.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll tell you what, with that closer out there, if you're going to play in, you got to cheat in a little bit. It was a one-hopper. You take the out and let him go to third base and let your closer go to work. Look at, you see where he's playing, and he felt he did what he did. He double clutched on it. He didn't go right away, and he made a high throw. So on that fielder's choice, now you put the winning run on first base. Take your out when you can. Now this is a great opportunity for the Indians.
So now Shin-Soo Choo, the batter. That's the first error of the game against either side. And the Indians in business in the ninth. Looking for a little Progressive Field magic here this afternoon. And Choo hits that one to left field. That one is hit well. Robinson back, looking up. That ball is gone. Shin-Soo Choo wins it in the ninth inning for the Tribe. A walk-off as the Indians end the losing streak. And Shin-Soo Choo, the hero. It is time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Thank you for making KeyBank the #1 bank in Northeast Ohio. I'll give you one guess what this key play would be.
Well, let's just take a look at it. It's a replay fastball up and away. Choo stays on it and drives it to left field. And how about that? Is it carrying a double to start the inning, a homer to end the inning? And I'll tell you what, Shin-Soo Choo with a walk-off home run. And the Indians again in fashion do it at home. Unbelievable. That's going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.
So Shin-Soo Choo wins in the 9th inning today for the Tribe in Game 1 of a day-night doubleheader. Game 2 is coming up at 7. Stay tuned. We still have lots more to give you here this afternoon on STO. Conrad's postgame show next, followed by All Bets Are Off with Chuck Galletti. Keep it here.